Hi, I'm Ross Fletcher. Welcome to the very first 2012 CenturyLink Scouting Report ahead of the new MLS season. The Seattle Sounders FC against Toronto FC is the first matchup at CenturyLink Field. Now, Toronto, this is their 6th season in MLS. They're yet to make the playoffs. Head coach Aaron Vinter has made a whole host of changes, hoping that will be something different for this campaign. And if they are selected by Aaron Vinter, here are 3 players to watch. Torsten Frings, at the age of 35, he brings huge leadership and experience to this Toronto FC lineup. 79 Germany caps really underline his fantastic experience. Now, he has been deployed in the early part of this season in the Champions League as a central defender, as one of 3 at the back. He can also play in midfield, but he brings that real presence, a great asset from set pieces, and also a dodgy haircut. Stefan Frei, goalkeeper, competing strongly with Kosic at the back to reclaim that #1 jersey that Kosic had in the second leg against LA. He is a very good shot stopper, as we saw in the corresponding fixture against the Sounders last season. His potential is massive. It's already been picked up by Liverpool in the English Premier League, who had him training with them in the off-season. Danny Koevermans, a powerful forward who will punish you at every opportunity. He's 33, this will be his first full MLS season, brought over from the Netherlands by coach Vinter. They played together at Sparta Rotterdam. His record already is outstanding. 10 MLS games, 8 MLS goals. Switch off for a moment and he'll be there. So let's go a little bit more in depth to analyse where the Sounders might be able to break down Toronto FC. It is, as I say, quite a season of change for Toronto. So to give you an idea of some of their problems and how they might be able to fix them, let's go back to the corresponding home fixture from last season for the Sounders, a resounding 3-0 win for Seattle. And I've been picking up from this, I think Toronto are susceptible at fullback. They were then, and they still quite possibly haven't fixed that problem. Our first clip is Alvaro Fernandez's goal. This clearance is good. Danley Borman, if we stop it here, goes for the ball, the left back. Now, there's nothing wrong with that in challenging for the ball, but if we play on, you can see he doesn't get back into position. He's trying to chase the ball here. So that opens up a whole area of space in the Seattle right wing channel. And if we play it on, pass goes in from Freeberg into James Riley, and still Brad Evans is free down the right-hand side. Nowhere to be seen, Danley Borman. It allows the cross. Who's at the back post? Alvaro Fernandez with a very simple header. Fluid, fantastic move from the Sounders. But let's look at it from the Toronto point of view. If we stop it just here, you can see down at the bottom, this is Borman, the right back. Now, the left back out of position, Borman has to track his run at Alvaro Fernandez. You can just about see him making contact there with Fernandez, but then he tracks the ball and not the player, allows Alvaro Fernandez half a yard of space, and that is bang. Header in the bottom corner, 1-0 Seattle, fullbacks at fault. So that's the first indication of how the Sounders have been able to get at the Toronto back line. Another example that we can pull up from that April 2011 game is again down the Toronto left back position. Our friend Danley Borman. This is an issue now of communication. We'll see the headed clearance by Seattle, 2 red shirts going for the ball, including Borman there. That leaves a big gap again at left back. Jaqua and Montero able to combine. Jaqua in oceans of space. He's got time to look up, put the cross in, Montero on the end of it. So that's an indication of where the Sounders can hurt Toronto, where they have been hitting them. Now, as I said, Aaron Vinter sees the problems with the Toronto backline and made a whole host of changes throughout, July onwards towards the end of the MLS season, tinkering a little bit more as well. But that, with the changes, brings problems of its own, namely in communication terms, because it's going to take time for a whole new team to get to know each other. They've got to work for each other as well. Almost in the Dutch total football style, you'll see this example here from the LA game where they need to work on. This is a throw-in for LA. Richard Eckersley, number 27, concedes the throw-in, but he stops, checks, tries to see that there's anyone covering behind him. There isn't. Harden is not close enough to Robbie Keane. Keane, we know he's so very quick, so very good at making those opportunities, gets away from the back line. No cover, no communication there. Keane gets his opportunity to try and get in on goal. The other thing we've talked about, Torsten Frings, moving into the back line as one of 3 central defenders. Now, that doesn't automatically mean more bodies at the back, fewer chances. We'll see that here, where actually it could mean the opposite. Again, our old friend Robbie Keane cuts in from the left-hand side and finds Mike McGee. McGee has time to lay the ball off. The reason? Frings. He's standing 1.5 yards off his man. If you watch now, Robbie Keane gets in with the chance. Good job by the other defenders and Eckersley to try and close him down. But if we stop it just here, you see Mike McGee pulling away from Torsten Frings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Toronto defenders, just 2 strikers here. Great movement from McGee, but almost too many cooks spoiling the broth, as we might say. And there goes the chance for LA. So a couple of opportunities for Sounders maybe to get in on the action. So an exciting time for the Sounders FC against a new-look Toronto FC side. You can watch the game with me and Casey Keller on Kong 616. Be with us for the pre-game show from 6:30. You can hear the game as well on 97.3 Cairo FM. Whatever you do, make sure you tune in. It should be an absolutely belting start to the 2012 MLS season for your Seattle Sounders FC. With the CenturyLink Scouting Report, I'm Ross Fletcher. We'll see you again on SoundersFC.com.